All right, let's get started. Going on this one, I like this really big bell shape. That was kind of the idea at the beginning here. I wanted to do kind of this crow in a sweater and a scarf. So I wanted that beak kind of just peeking up over the top of that scarf and just, so I went in and that bell shape was kind of what I wanted. I like birds a lot because the shape is just kind of fun. Their legs are just so small and spindly, and so they're balanced up on top of there. I just think that's really kind of funny. I realized as I was drawing this that I tend to do that a lot, that I like a big shape kind of supported by these tiny little legs or these thin little shapes. I've done a few like that, and I just really enjoy the contrast of that you have, small versus big, and this tiny little thing supported by these thin little legs. I just always find that fun and interesting. I should probably go in and do something that's the opposite. Have these massive, huge, thick, powerful legs on a tinier body. Kind of, if you've seen Lilo and Stitch, the characters in that, they have these just massively huge legs, especially Lilo's older sister, Nani. She's got these big, massive, powerful legs. Kind of a fun, different angle to it. Maybe I should try something like that. So after I built up these big first shapes, going in on the head especially, like I always say, that's where your eye's going to rest the most. There's things that are important elsewhere, but that face, the eyes, the nose, the beak in this case, those are going to be very important things. So your focus, my focus starts there a lot after I've got those initial shapes kind of laid out and drawn in. Playing around with some of the patterns with the scarves. I tend to try and do these big striped scarves. It lends itself to kind of, it looks like there's a lot of detail there. I could go in and just do tiny little details and do something really intricate and complicated, but I like how big and bold those stripes are versus all these other things, but it still gives the hint of a pattern and something going on. Going in, the sleeves there, I kind of wanted some of the ribbing that you get on some of these sweaters around kind of where your wrists would be, or at the bottom of the sweater, things like that. Doing some of the detail there on the wings. I wanted the crow to kind of stand out by having him be a bit darker. And so the play of the values here is really important in this one, because I have the darkness of the crow, I have the stripes on the scarf, I have this pattern, this diamond pattern in the sweater, dark legs, things like that. So these lights versus darks is really going to come into play to just separate the different shapes and separate the different things and give it a nice balance, hopefully, when all is said and done, that it's got a nice feel to it. There's enough dark to balance out with the light, things like that. I decided later on that I wanted another arm. I wasn't sure how you would see it, but as I drew him, it's like, you know what, you would see it kind of hinting back there. So even though that wasn't in that initial shape, I drew it in. So the patterning for this diamond thing in here, I initially drew some lines, side to side and then up and down to try and almost get a feel of a cross hatching or some stitching that kind of have these layers kind of going up and around and over and on top of each other. If I can get the lines working with the drawing, it kind of can have the feel of fur or of the stitching or of some of these things. Instead of just filling it in willy-nilly, it can kind of create that texture going in there. Now I'm just adding in some final outline details, make sure that silhouette shape is really working. Just playing around with some different things, going to give him a shadow kind of to show that he's standing on something. Darken up just a few of these lines in here. Things that I thought were important, things that I want in there. But pretty much that's him. Enjoy. Thanks for watching today's drawing. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment at the bottom if there's something specific you want to see drawn, and maybe it'll make it into a future video.